A very good evening. Sky News has accompanied Iraqi special forces on the new front line in the battle for Mosul as the operation to try to retake the city from Islamic State reaches a new phase. Our team has travelled with the elite Golden Division as they entered the IS stronghold and into the district of Ghotjali, where they've come under heavy fire from IS fighters as they move through the area, clearing buildings. Well, from there, our Middle East correspondent Alex Rossi sent this report.
Swaggering down the streets with an ISIS flag, this is the first time the Iraqi army has entered Mosul for more than 2 years. They were forced to flee when the extremists took over, but they confidently told me the group is now finished. But their celebrations didn't last long. Sniper fire saw us taking cover. It isn't clear where the rounds are coming from. Militants are still hiding in the buildings across the roads. We entered one of the compounds with the Golden Division, Iraq's special forces. The family tell me they've been trapped inside for weeks, and they often ran out of food. The road into Mosul is an eerie place. We make our way nervously through the shattered streets, expecting an ambush at any time. More than 1 million civilians are trapped inside. It's feared they'll be used as human shields. Making sure they're unharmed is the mantra for the Iraqi army as they attempt to liberate this city. Well, this is a mosque. We are now inside the city of Mosul, and you can see inside here there are many families who've been sheltering. The fighting is still going on outside. There is sniper fire, and the Golden Division are putting down suppression fire as well, but people are staying inside for the moment because it is still out there incredibly dangerous. I think you can probably make out the battle that is still going on. Upstairs, the men are being questioned. We ask if there are still ISIS amongst them. No, they reply. They've disappeared. In areas that have been freed, beards are being shaved. Men were forced to grow them under Islamic State's brutal regime. This campaign, though, will not be easy. Major Hazin took us to the new front line, where they're facing strong resistance. Despite heavy airstrikes, ISIS was still firing mortars as the troops moved in. The operation, though, is now entering a new phase. In the densely populated areas, it will become much harder if they're to avoid civilian casualties. Alex Rossi, Sky News, inside Mosul.
And Alex joins me now from the Iraqi Kurdish capital of Erbil, just about 50 miles east of Mosul. And Alex, your report just goes to illustrate how difficult the days ahead are.
Yeah, the Iraqi Special Forces, the Golden Division, are making steady progress. They've gone forward perhaps faster than they thought they would. They are now inside the city. That area that I was in, that district, is almost a spur sticking out on the eastern side. They can go there and they can probably hold that front line, certainly as they have for the last 48 hours. Now, the plan appears to be that they will then use that as a staging post to move forwards. But you have to remember, Dermot, that is only one part of the jigsaw. There are other areas, other fronts in this campaign. On the southern side of the city, the Iraqi army and also the federal police have been tasked to clear the villages there. They aren't progressing very fast at all. Then in the north, you also have the Iraqi army, the popular mobilization units, and the Peshmerga as well. All of it having to come together and be timed and coordinated. So it will be a very difficult operation. The other thing you have to bear in mind is they haven't really got into the extremely densely populated areas. The bit that they were in today, that they got through to yesterday, is perhaps the first bit that has had a fair number of civilians. But as you go further into the city, there are many, many more. And of course, the Iraqi army, if it wants to keep the population on side, needs to make sure there aren't civilian casualties. So that is something that they will have to try very hard to do. ISIS, of course, for its part, will want to draw them in and have a very dirty guerrilla style of war. They will want them to cause as much damage as possible. So I think what you will see now over the coming days is perhaps a pause as they regroup, as they let other fronts try to move forward. And then perhaps in about 4 or 5 days' time, we'll see the next part of the offensive.
Alex, many thanks. Alex Rossi there, live for us in Erbil.